Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lysha from Lysha Be Creative, and in today's tutorial I am doing a three-way split tumbler. It is going to be a floral design as we are now hopefully going to be approaching spring, hopefully sooner rather than later. This inspiration actually came from an image that I found on Pinterest. So Pinterest is always my go-to for finding inspiration for tumblers and different ideas that I can recreate on tumblers. And so this was actually a design that I found in nail art, which is one of my favorite things to look up when I'm looking for inspirational designs to add to tumblers. So of course, everything I use in today's tutorial will be listed and linked down in the description box down below. You will also find discount codes for a lot of the products that I like to use, as well as all of my social media links as well. So if you haven't, definitely make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to my channel. It helps me out a whole lot, and I would love for you to also make sure you click that notification bell so you're notified when I post my videos. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. Alright, so I'm so excited to share with you how I put this tumbler together. It's such a simplistic design, but a beautiful, beautiful, breathtaking look. So I'm taking a 32-ounce plump that I purchased from the Steel Magnolia. It is my favorite cup style to use, and I'm giving this a nice, good sanding of the entire cup, just trying to remove all that shine from the coating of the tumbler, and then I'm going to rub this down with 91% alcohol. Once I'm done cleaning that up, I'm going to insert my cup arm back into my turner, and I'm going to take this outside to spray paint with Vintage Blush from Rust-Oleum. So now that my tumbler is dry, I did also want to mention that I did do 2 coats of the spray paint base, which is that Vintage Blush from Rust-Oleum. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. And now we're going to split this cup directly in half. So I have taken a strip of blue painter's tape, and just off camera, I am just rubbing that painter's tape all over my clothing just to remove a little bit of the sticky off. And that is to prevent any lifting of my spray paint as a result of the stickiness of the tape. So I am just eyeballing. You guys know me. I don't really care to really measure if I don't have to. I have just always eyeballed, and so I'm eyeballing kind of what the center point is of the bottom half of the tumbler, and then I am taking those 2 pieces of painter's tape on either side and creating a straight line down the sides of the tumbler. So this larger side is where I'm going to put some chunky glitter on, and then the other side is where we will create that 3-way split, or that 2-section split, if you will. So now that I have my tumbler back on the arm, I'm going to just grab some Mod Podge, and we are going to do a little bit of a light dusting of Athena from Peachy Olive Glitters. So taking my Mod Podge from my squeeze bottle there and a large wide paintbrush, I'm going to do a nice thin and even layer of Mod Podge all over this back half. I'm not going to do anything with the bottom portion of the cup. I'm actually going to leave that just the solid color of the tumbler. I just decided not to carry my glitter down there. I didn't really feel like it was necessary. And you guys know that when you're adding glitter to the bottom of your cup, especially if it's going to be a chunky glitter, you're going to run into a lot of extra care that you'll need to pay attention to the bottom of your cup. So now that I've got that thin layer of Mod Podge on there, I'm going to take my Athena, which is a chunky holographic gold from Peachy Olive Glitter, and what I'm doing here is I'm just dusting. So I am not aiming for full coverage on this cup. I am literally just aiming to a nice even layer of Athena throughout this section. So originally I had thought that maybe I would do kind of a reverse waterfall look, and then I kind of decided, as my inspiration kind of took over, that I wanted to put a little bit of some stenciling. So how beautiful to have some gold glitter peeking through that stencil that we're going to put on this side. So again, I'm just lightly dusting this side. I'm making sure that the glitter is even in all sections on this back, but I'm not getting full coverage. So now that I have that, we're going to move to the front portion of the cup after that dries. So I'm going to let that side dry for about 20 to 25 minutes before I remove the tape, and we're going to do the bottom section of the front half of the cup. With the chunky glitter side almost completely dry there, I did kind of just let it sit for a bit. You could also take your heat gun. We're going to remove this tape very carefully. Obviously, we want to make sure that the stickiness from the tape is not going to pull up on our tape and obviously scratch or chip any of our spray paint. So now that that is kind of all removed, I'm now just going to go over that back side with just a dry bristle brush just to brush off any glitter that may have gotten on that side. And now we're going to take a new piece of blue painter's tape and we're going to split and make a diagonal towards the lower half of this cup. So the idea here is that we are going to be glittering the bottom portion of the cup, and so I am aiming for what is going to be kind of probably about the bottom third of the cup is what I'm aiming for. I definitely want the top half of my cup on that front side to be the larger portion, and kind of the bottom portion of the cup where the glitter is going to go to be my smaller section. So I'm just eyeballing. I'm taking that blue piece of painter's tape that I've just ran along my table to remove the stickiness again, and I am just kind of creating a diagonal line across that section. I am being careful because obviously the glitter is still a little bit wet on the other side, and I don't want to damage that section, and so I'm just being careful to make sure I don't apply the tape over that area. So for this we're going to use Tack It, and the reason why I'm using Tack It is because I like the way that the glitter sticks better to Tack It, and I didn't want to have to mix up any epoxy because I didn't have any cups that needed any epoxy at that point in time, so I just felt it to be easier to use Tack It. But normally when I'm using Tack It, I'm doing Tack It method glitter application, which would mean that I am burnishing down the glitter afterwards. I decided to leave this glitter kind of wholesome in the sense of I'm not going to flatten it or burnish it down like I would for normal Tack It glitter application. I wanted to create that full glitter coverage look on this front portion of the cup. So again, not putting any glitter on the bottom of the cup. I'm just going to cover this bottom third section, and then I'm going to apply Goddess from Peachy Olive glitter. So I am going to dry my Tack It a little bit. I do just find that glitter sticks better when it's in the tackier phase, even if I'm not going to actually go through with the burnishing part. I do just feel like it sticks a little bit better that way versus when it's wet, because when it's wet I find it's a little bit more like Mod Podge where it kind of wants to move around a bit, and I want all this glitter to stay put. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of heat just to dry this to the tacky phase, and then we're going to be applying that fine glitter Goddess. So Goddess is actually the finer cut of Athena, which is what we used on the back side, and so these two together just on top of this vintage blush base is just absolutely beautiful. It's just such a classy look, and I absolutely love it. So going in full coverage with this bottom section of Goddess here, making sure to get edge to edge coverage of my glitter. I'm then just going to take my dry brush and brush off any of the other areas, and then we will remove that tape and let this dry for a bit before we spray seal. So while we are waiting for all of that glitter to dry, we're going to get our images set up in Cricut Design Space. So on my phone, I have already uploaded the images that I'm going to be using, and I've taken measurements of my cup so I know the exact measurements of the side of the cup that I need for this stencil. So this is a rose stencil that I purchased from, I believe it's called Digital Curio on Etsy, and so I have sized that to be about 4.75 in width and then about 10.5 inches in height, I believe. I also picked up these watercolor flowers, which I will link down in the description. I just searched white roses on Etsy and these came up. They are absolutely beautiful, and they're actually outlined with a little bit of gold glitter, if you will, kind of that digital gold glitter look. And so I thought it would fantastically kind of complement all of the elements that I have happening on the cup. So I sized my flowers to be no bigger than 2 inches wide, and then I duplicated each of them about 4 times each. I'm not going to use all of them, but I'd rather have more than less in case I want to use more. I then am grabbing this cute little eucalyptus leaf that I actually purchased a while back for another cup design that I was working on, and I've duplicated that a few times as well, and we're actually going to cut that on a different colored vinyl that almost matches vintage blush, but it's a little bit more purple and kind of really does stand out against those white roses. So let's get these all cut, and then let's go ahead and apply these. I've got all of my images printed and cut. I did end up going in and hand cutting all of the white roses. I was having a super tough time with my Cricut, as I do probably once a week. So I just hand cut all of those out on my printable vinyl, from HTV Rot. And now I am just giving this cup a nice sand. I'm really sanding and focusing on the top rim to get that fine line of stainless steel, as well as a little bit of roughness that I had along the bottom where the edge of the glitter is. And now that I have kind of that all cleaned off with my 91% alcohol, we're going to apply the stencil side first. So the way that I ended up cutting my stencil is I made it quite a bit wider than I had explained through the Cricut Design Space. I was worried that it looked too squunched, if you will, like really squished, and so I didn't want the roses to look so squished together. So I kind of elongated it a little bit and made it a little bit wider. So I know I'm going to have a huge overlapping here, which is fine. We'll just trim up that section just like we would if we were doing a full vinyl wrap on this cup. So I just wanted to kind of be transparent about that because I did end up giving myself a little bit more room. That way I had a little bit more wiggle room in case things kind of went a little sideways. So I'm just going to apply a piece of transfer tape directly on top of this stencil that I have already weeded out. This actually was really easy to weed. I'm using just Oracle permanent vinyl. It really was super simple and super easy to weed. I had no trouble whatsoever getting all these pieces weeded. It's large enough where I didn't have to take a whole lot of time to weed all those small pieces, and probably took me less than 5 minutes to get this to this state. So we're just going to trim this up, and I'm just going to make sure obviously that my transfer tape is super flat onto there. That way it does pick up the entire vinyl sheet and doesn't leave any pieces back on my backing. So after trimming this up, let's go ahead and get to applying this to the cup. Okay, so applying the vinyl. So I'm not really sure why I didn't use my cup cradle, but I'm going to just try to apply this with my cup on the table. So as you can see, I have my dry chip brush there as reinforcement, and I'm just going to put the backing and kind of fold that back so that I have some of the transfer tape and stencil exposed, and I'm going to adhere that to one side, making sure to cover the line where the paint and the glitter meet so that I have a nice straight line before I start to apply this to the cup. So once I know that this is going to meet on the other side, I'm going to use a combination of my hands as well as my squeegee to really make sure that I am not damaging my stencil and that everything is going on smooth, flat, without any wrinkles or bubbles whatsoever. Once I get to the side where the other section meets, the other paint meets the glitter, I'm going to cut off and trim this top section here of the excess that I have, and then now we're going to do a little bit of trimming on this side. So I did have a little bit of an overlap, probably about a ½ inch or so of overlap, just to make sure that I met completely on that side. So we're going to trim this up and then remove the transfer tape. Now that the transfer tape is removed, I'm just going to go along the top because I did have some overlapping at the top, and just trim off any of the vinyl that goes over the top rim there, making sure to still keep that fine line of stainless steel exposed so we can create a perfect seal at the top rim. So now that I have cut off all of my extra vinyl there, we're going to move on to the front portion of the cup. So we're not going to do anything with the bottom half of the cup here. We're going to just leave that beautiful goddess glitter. And we're going to be adding some of the white roses to the large spray paint section of that vintage blush up top. After kind of using my flowers as a guideline to figure out where I want things to place, I wanted to create almost like a diagonal zigzag-ish line of the roses and then intertwine some of those eucalyptus leaves. So I put a couple of the different style roses down, and then I'm going to go back in with the eucalyptus leaf, and I'm going to place that directly over in between, I should say, the two roses. So I just kind of decided that I wanted to have a little bit of kind of leafing there. And obviously I know technically these leaves by no means go with this style flower, but I just love the stenciling look of these leaves, which is why I chose to have these cut and added to the cup. So, you know, it's just kind of fun to play around with different designs, and florals are just so versatile and so unique to be able to work with. There's definitely different styles and ideas that you can do when you're working with florals, and that's probably why doing spring cups is my absolute favorite style of cup to make. So I get a little sad when we get to winter because it's not as fun. So I'm going to continue to apply both of the roses and a little bit of these leaves as well, just kind of covering up, almost layering them in some respects to kind of give myself kind of a bunched bouquet look almost, but also to still leave kind of the hints of seeing those other flowers underneath. It's kind of hard to explain, but I hope you're able to kind of see what I'm doing in and on the screen. And so for this final last leaf, I only had this one left, so I decided to cut it in half and use it in two and add that to the cup. So What I am going to say is you want to make sure with your printable vinyl that if you're not using matte and you're using glossy, that your paper is completely dry, like the ink is completely dry before you go to apply these. Because obviously using your transfer tape, you do run a very high risk of pulling up the ink off of your image when you are using transfer tape on top of your printable image. I definitely have an easier time with matte vinyl as far as not having that issue as much, but it's just something to keep in mind, or make sure you kind of do the same trick that I do with the blue painter's tape to make sure it's not super sticky transfer tape and so it doesn't pull up the ink. I hope that makes sense, but definitely something that I've run into with some trial and error, if you will, so I just thought I'd throw that tip in there. So now that I have the roses and the leaves applied, we're now going to finish up this cup super simply. I'm going to add one more rose to the very bottom to just add a little bit of design to the bottom element of the cup. And now we're going to take a little bit of washi tape and we're going to clean up all the lines and sections. So I got this gold washi tape from Hobby Lobby. It came in kind of a rainbow of colors. I would say it's probably 1.5 inches in width if I had to guess. Not 1.5, 0.15, excuse me. So I'm just going to use this beautiful gold washi tape in place of vinyl lines. So this saves you obviously the step of needing to use your Cricut or your die cutting machine in order to cut your vinyl lines. Using washi tape is just so easy and simple. The one thing that I will allude to and tell you is that you definitely want to make sure that you seal your washi tape. Epoxy tends to repel on washi tape, so I always do a little bit of quick coat or polyacrylic over my washi tape to make sure that I don't have any repelling of my epoxy during my final coats. So I'm just going to use this gold washi tape to create those lines that separate my two sections, front and back, and then again separate that top section of florals from the bottom section of just solid glitter. And so I'm just going to then trim up these areas and make sure I don't have any of my washi tape overlapping into either section, and that is pretty much it. So again, all in all, a lot of the work was done all at the same time, kind of in two sections. So a much more simple and simplistic way of doing a cup, because a lot of it was just glittering and then doing all of your design element work. But I just love how beautiful and simplistic that this cup came out. It's a beautiful floral cup ready for springtime, and I'm so excited because this is going to be one of the designs that I'm putting in my spring boxes. So here's a look at the final cup. So as always, you guys know that I put 2 final coats of epoxy on this bad boy. It was about 30 mLs each of Amazing Clear Cast Plus, which is the plus formula that has that added UV protection to make sure that my cup does not yellow over time. So I hope that you guys loved today's tutorial. If you did, definitely make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up, and feel free to check out all the other videos on my channel. I'll see you guys again next week.